Hello Substreamers and welcome back to Substream News. Very happy to see you. Now, my first story today is all about how not to get rich. While highly ingenious, it's also highly illegal. But it's very innovative and uses technology in a pretty mischievous way, which is why I wanted to share this story with you today. Let's begin. So, a UK man allegedly hacked genealogy websites to get the email accounts and passwords of the executives of some of the world's biggest companies and to basically read their emails and use that information to trade the stock market. So here's what's happened. Authorities have charged Robert Westbrook with multiple counts of fraud after evidence showed he allegedly hacked the emails of 5 US-based companies and read the inboxes. He is accused of then trading ahead of the company's earning results, reaping millions in illicit profits. Now, the newspapers are calling this a hack-to-trade scheme, which makes it sound like a bit like a work placement project. But so he got caught because he did the same pattern with each of his targets. So he would reset their computer system password and use the new login to hack their Microsoft Office 365 account and their Outlook email box. Now, some of those execs actually didn't realize they'd been hacked. And so he had access to their emails for months and was able to trade on their reports multiple times. So, of course, his whole scheme relied on being able to hack their security questions for their passwords. So often that requires you to need to know things like somebody's maiden name, their mother's maiden name, stuff like that. That's why he was hacking genealogy websites to get information about these people. He also used VPN service providers to conceal his identity, and he subscribed to various different genealogy services to help him find his targets. So he also, this is where it gets even more technological. He subscribed to 5 different captcha solving services. You know, captchas like where you have the 9 tiles, and you have to select which one has a bird in the picture, sort of thing. It's an anti-bot technology. And he also purchased, and I love this bit, 5 highly technical hacker manuals. I'm going to read the titles of these books because I think it's great. The Hacker Playbook 3, Practical Guide to Penetration Testing. Tribe of Hackers, Cybersecurity Advice from the best hackers in the world. Oh, come on, these are brilliant. Now, you're probably wondering, did he get away with it? Well, obviously not. He got caught, he's going to jail, and here's his punishment, Mr. Westbrook. He made... Well, I should tell you his reward too, actually. He made $3.75 million in profits trading ahead of 14 earnings announcements. And actually, 4 of the 14 were unprofitable. He somehow lost money. In total, he faces, drum roll please, 65 years in prison and fines and penalties accounting to about double what he actually won, if that's the right word to use, or stole, I suppose is more apt. Let's move on to the next story, but you're going to notice there's a bit of a theme in this episode. The point I'm trying to get at with today's theme is that tech vulnerabilities can really expose us, and they expose us constantly, and a lot of the time we're just simply not aware of it. And it's not just me and other YouTube geeks saying that. Actually, US officials are now warning that Chinese connected car technology could help China spy on and even assassinate drivers. It seemed a bit extreme to me, so I'm going to share the quote with Commerce Secretary Gina Raimondo. Here's what she says. Cars today have cameras, microphones, GPS tracking, and other technologies connected to the internet. It doesn't take much imagination to understand how a foreign adversary with access to this information could pose a serious risk to both our national security and the privacy of citizens. She continues, in an extreme situation, foreign adversaries could shut down or take control of all their vehicles operating in the United States at the same time. Well, If she really believes that, what's she going to do about it? Well, here's what's been proposed. Her department wants a ban to take effect on Chinese-supplied vehicle software from 2027 and hardware from 2029. This will apply to all vehicles that have Bluetooth, satellite, and wireless internet access features, as well as autonomous driving AI. Now, I actually kind of don't agree. I think you should protect your national interests, especially when your country has an ongoing feud and there's precedent. I definitely think it's probably wise to protect your citizens, and technology exposes us so much. Now, what's China had to say about that? Of course, they're being accused of being naughty, I suppose. So China has attacked the move as a covert trade ban. They've pointed to another move by the White House last week to increase tariffs on Chinese EVs by 100%, as well as new tariffs on EV batteries and critical minerals. This story, before it turns political, we're just going to move on. Here at Substream News, we try and avoid politics. Sometimes not fully avoidable. That is the nature of the news, but we try not to touch too much on politics and try to stick on innovation, dystopia, future, stuff like that. So if you love those kind of things and you're a new viewer here, you're not yet subscribed, I do encourage you just to go tick that box, because we're putting out at the moment 2 videos a week. Hope you're enjoying them. Let's move on to the next story. Okay, substreamers, I mean regular substreamers, those who come and watch quite frequently. You might remember about, let's say, a month or so ago, maybe about 6 weeks ago, I covered a story from Disney. It wasn't a fun story. A guy's wife had an allergic reaction and she died at Disneyland. It was tragic. It was really a sad story. He wanted to sue Disney because they hadn't listened to her dietary requirements and had caused her fatal allergic reaction. Now, Disney had a bit of fine print in the terms and conditions that meant he couldn't sue them in front of a jury. Now, that was because he had signed up for Disney Plus years ago, a trial membership, and in the fine print from that trial membership, it protected their butts and not his. He was furious. Obviously, he went to the media, it blew up, and he got his compensation. Now, there's another story doing the rounds this week that's giving the same vibes. So what's happened? A couple were left with life-changing injuries after their Uber crashed, right? And they've been told that they can't sue Uber because it's in Uber's fine print. So they cannot get a court case in front of a jury to claim on this incident. Their names are Georgia and John McGinty. They're from New Jersey in the US. And yes, they are bound by a clause that says they cannot take the case to a jury in a court of law. Their injuries are pretty severe. Mrs. McGinty suffered a fractured spine and damage to her abdominal walls, whereas Mr. McGinty fractured his sternum here in the chest and also shattered his wrist and broke his arm. Now, they are both in ongoing pain. These are life-changing injuries, and they have huge medical bills to pay. And Uber's trying to weasel its little way out of it, as big tech companies love to do. There's a twist in the tale of this story, is that the McGinty said it wasn't actually them who clicked confirm on the fine print. They said it was their daughter, their young daughter, when she bought a pizza and ordered it through the Uber app. So they said it wasn't even them, which makes the whole story a little bit more confusing. They said if they knew they were forfeiting their constitutional rights to sue the Uber, they would not have ordered a pizza via their daughter through the app. It's all a bit convoluted, but there's a great quote here from Mrs. McGinty. She said, "How would I ever remotely think that my ability to protect my constitutional rights to a trial would be waived by me ordering food?" Well, there's a silver lining. Now, I don't know too much about the US judicial system, but what I do know is that even though they can't get in front of a jury, they can go to arbitration. I think that's something like a small claims court in the UK. And so they will get compensation, but it will just be a lot less than if it was in front of a jury. The meaning behind this story is to actually read the fine print and the terms and conditions before you tick those boxes. Saying that, does anybody? Do you really? You're just aching to progress, right? And click continue. So maybe in future, because of Disney and Uber, you might want to pay more attention. You never know. Let's move on. Okay, substreamers. Now, actually, talking about subscriptions, I want to, I suppose, congratulate Starlink for surpassing 4 million subscriptions. I think that's pretty impressive number, a milestone. Now, if you don't know Starlink, it's Elon Musk's satellite internet company. It's part of SpaceX. Essentially, they put up 6,000 satellites into low orbit. It's about 24 satellites per launch. That now gives them satellite internet capabilities for over 100 countries. Now, I remember when it was being designed years ago, the whole kind of ethos was that there's so many black spots on Earth, deserts, mountains, jungles, where you can't get connectivity. And often those places are dangerous and you need connectivity in case of emergency. So Starlink, was like, okay, we're going to put cheap, high quality wireless internet through space. And I think it's a wonderful innovation. Say what you think, believe what you like about Elon Musk. I really think Starlink is really good. But I live here in Thailand and it's illegal. Foreign satellite equipment is illegal. Actually, last year they arrested a bunch of people and confiscated 57 sets of Starlink. So do not use it in Thailand. Foreign satellite software will get you in big trouble. Hardware as well. Sorry, hardware and software. So I've never used it. If you have, I'd really, 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 really like to know what's your experience with it. Please let me know in the comments. I'm curious. Now, 4 million, you might think the grand scale of things is not that much, but that's 1 million new subscribers since May. So like 4 or 5 months. That's really, really fast. They started providing Starlink in October 2020. It didn't hit 1 million subscribers until December 2022, so over 2 years. 2 million subscribers in September 2023, so about 9 months later, and 3 million in May, so about 8 months later. And now, just another like 4 months, 4.5 months. So that's very impressive. It's clearly gaining momentum. Congrats to Starlink. Let's move on. Okay, this next one, nice quick story for you. You may have remembered just a few minutes ago, I mentioned CAPTCHA. It's like an anti-bot technology. We've been filling out CAPTCHA forms for years. It used to be a jumble of letters with lines through it, and you had to kind of decipher what the letters and numbers were. Then it was two photos of words, and you had to write what the words were. And it's changed so much over time. Now it's helping AI image recognition. Well, this story now is inevitable. It was always inevitable, but researchers from Zurich have used advanced machine learning technology to solve 100% of Google's reCAPTCHA v2 problems. These reCAPTCHA v2s are designed to be anti-machine learning, anti-bot, anti-AI. So they've now been gamed. They've now been beaten. Yes, AI can outsmart anti-AI. The cat and mouse game begins. What will Google do next? And in order to create a capture form that can beat AI, I am actually really excited to see that. I only hope that it doesn't become so complicated that humans can't figure it out. Let's move on. Okay, guys, and we're here. We're at the final story. Hey, we always finish on a lighter note. If you're a new viewer, I try to finish with something a bit more light-hearted. This one is about some really cool headphones that I wanted to share with you. They come from Neurables. They're $700 US. It's a bit much, but who knows? Some of you might be used to spending that much on headphones. But they're very unique in that they actually track your brain activity and help you improve focus and fight burnout. They use a technology called electroencephalography. You may know that word. I don't know that word. EEG. something to do with reading brain signals. And devices that use this technology are more accurate, responsive, and now more fashionable with the use of these super cool headphones. There should be an image here for you to see these headphones. I think they look pretty decent. They are being marketed as brain reading headphones, and they collect real-time brain data. And that's then combined with artificial intelligence, because what isn't these days? And it's all transmitted into your Android or iOS app, where you can see real-time information about your own brain. And then you can also somehow use the headphones to stave off fatigue and stay focused. I read that some of the features would be like to stop you from being distracted. It might tweak the noise cancellation feature to block out environmental noise. It might increase the volume to make you more alert, or things like that. It's able to do different things. Now, the co-founder, he's Dr. Ramses Al-Qaid. He says it's essentially teaching you how to focus and get better at understanding how that feels, so that you can improve it over long periods of time. We spent close to a decade refining the technology, going from large head caps, working our way down to smaller form factors, essentially now getting to headphones, all the while trying to retain a high level of signal quality. I think they're really cool, and I'd love to try them. I think a bit expensive, maybe over time the price will come down, but I love to see innovations like this that serve a functional purpose, more than just providing sound and music and audio. They going to help improve your life quality. I believe that's the aim here, and I think that's a worthy innovation. Another worthy innovation is Substream News. Maybe not, but guys, if you enjoyed the video and you want to see more of me, remember to like and subscribe. We are trying our best to grow, and you're a very important part of that mission. So I want to say thank you. I'm Joseph, this is Substream News, and I will see you next time. And I just realized my screensaver has come on. So just as a reminder, this is our YouTube homepage. I'll see you there in the next video. Thank you very much. Bye bye.